'Twas the night before Christmas, but before you go out and check and see if Santa Claus has delivered you some presents, let me talk to you, because we got an awesome week coming up on the show. Enzo Amore calls out MJF to a promo battle. We got an update on Mandy Rose, how she's doing since she's left the WWE. We also got some news on Rusev. All that, so much more coming up. Sit back and relax, and the show starts now.
Woo! How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good, good.
It's Christmas night
It is Christmas night.
or Christmas Day, whatever.
Oh shit, yeah, it is. Merry Christmas, man.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments below what your favorite Christmas related gift is.
And
And while you're down there, go ahead.
As a bonus, let us know what your favorite Christmas movie is. What's your favorite Christmas movie?
It'd have to be Bad Santa, I guess.
Really? Bad Santa?
Either that or Elf.
Okay. It's a little. Of course, it's something a little bit newer.
Yeah, I don't like the older stuff.
Yeah. I remember watching the like the Rudolph and the clay shit.
Oh yeah, it's pretty. That's pretty dark. That one.
Yeah,
If you
like.
watch it.
I remember Mad TV did a whole little thing where Rudolph got jumped. That was good stuff.
I remember one where Rudolph was like killing people or killing the other reindeers.
Yeah. That was the Mad. I believe that was Mad TV.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, like he's at school and then like the other reindeer just hold his arms back while they punch him in the stomach, and you see blood in the snow, and then he turns into like basically the Godfather.
Yeah. They fucked him up.
Yeah. But it is Christmas week, which means it has been kind of a uneventful week in the wide world of wrestling. But
Yeah, they took the week off. I mean,
they did.
SmackDown was a taped show, so
Boy,
and
SmackDown was weird.
and they ran with the B crew. You could tell.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got when you got Angel Garza on the show, you're really scraping the bottom of the pile.
I didn't even know who that
Not that
was.
he's a not that he's a bad wrestler, but that's the first time he's been on TV in like weeks.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it, man.
All right, well, we start off with Monday Night Raw.
Okay, yeah. Monday
And
Night fucking Raw.
I'm gonna say, Raw started out pretty good.
Okay.
So we start out with a little promo from Roman Reigns. Obviously, this was taped at SmackDown because he was in the same room.
Okay, I
Um,
thought that too. Like that looked like the exact same fucking room.
yeah, it was.
Okay.
Um, he basically said he's on Raw. And he wasn't even on Raw, so that was number one. But
Right.
he said he was on Raw because it's the home of Kevin Owens,
Uh-huh.
and he's gonna show Kevin Owens some respect.
And you ain't worried about
And
him or Cena.
yeah, and we pretty much open to the Bloodline beating up some jobbers.
They were screaming incoherently and they were beating the shit out of somebody. And of course, it was Mustafa. If you're gonna beat
Yeah,
up if you're gonna beat up somebody, you gotta get Mustafa.
like get him first.
Yeah. Which
And
let me go ahead and just skip ahead a little bit. This kind of got old to me. Like it felt like they were trying to recreate like the Stone Cold thing where you remember like the build up to the Royal Rumble where he would just come out and just stun people randomly.
oh yeah, he said he was gonna stun everybody,
Yeah.
and
And
he
it
did.
yeah, and then there's that scene where everybody was in the ring and they were all waiting for him and he's like, "Oh, I'll meet you all out, you sons of bitches." And then he snuck up behind him. I think he stunned Phineas, one of them. It's a slop drop guy.
the hog, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, not Henry. Was it Henry O. Godwin? Anyway, but
I
yeah.
don't know.
So he stunned them and ran, which I thought was great. But it felt like they were trying to recreate that, and it just got kind of old.
I got NWO vibes from it,
Okay.
where they're just like beating up people.
Yeah.
But I liked the start because it was a different start.
The start was fine. It was just the fact that it kept going on, and it was every. Well, we'll get to it, I guess.
I wanted them to do it more, and I was
Okay.
disappointed with the payoff that we'll get to.
Right. Yeah.
um, but yeah, so we get the hot
This
start.
whole show was
The
disappointing. Let me just say.
the bloodlines beating up um,
Mustafa.
Mustafa Ali and some other dude.
Oh, was
I
there
forgot who
somebody
else
else?
it
I thought it
was.
was just Mustafa.
No, there was someone else, but they
Okay.
didn't really show who it was.
Okay.
And then we opened to our first match of the night, which was the Judgment Day taking on the Street Profits.
Yeah.
Um,
This wasn't on Hulu, so I didn't watch it. I probably wouldn't have watched it anyway, since half the Judgment Day can get manhandled by Tiny Mia Kim or Yim. So, yeah, I have no interest in Judgment Day or the Street Profits. Why the fuck are the Street Profits here?
well, I mean, the Street Profits, they just came back from injury. That's why they're here.
Okay.
Why they're feuding with the Judgment Day, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of going to get into bleed into SmackDown, but like they really need to do something with the tag team division, man. They need to either just stop it or blow it all up and start over. Like seriously, I know we talked about that before, but it's really glaring. You got the fucking Street Profits and Judgment Day. They're wrestling. Why are they wrestling? No idea. They're just two tag teams that are just there. And then later on SmackDown, you got the Usos versus fucking Hit Row. Why is Hit Row wrestling the Usos?
Oh, because they won the triple threat match to be the #1 contenders.
Why are they in a #1 contender match? Seriously.
Oh, we'll go over that on SmackDown.
Okay. But, I mean, they just need to they need to do something. It's atrocious. It's a joke. It's an embarrassment. Everybody talks about how awful AEW's women's division is. WWE's tag team division is worse.
Well, the AEW women's division is not bad. It's just that they're booked bad. There's a difference. And I would say almost the same thing for the tag team division. It's
Well,
just booked.
that and they don't have any tag teams.
Well, they got plenty of tag teams. They're just
No.
booked bad. You can't have them job week after week and then, oh, now we're trying to take them serious. No,
No, that
we see that they're losers.
that big useless tubby fucking flab of shit on Hit Row will never be a tag team champion. He shouldn't even be wrestling.
He might not even be on the roster soon.
He should be
You don't have to worry about him.
he should be patting people down for weapons at a club.
Well, why are we back on SmackDown already? We're still talking about Raw.
We're talking about the tag
You're
team.
gonna have time to rip into him.
No, he was just an example. I mean, Street Profits, they're nobodies. You got the Fuego de la Sol people, nobodies. Viking Raiders,
Phantasma.
yeah. Viking Raiders, maybe they're the only legitimate ones right now. That's because they haven't been completely shit on yet. But, I mean, they're close. They got taken out by Hit Row. And Valhalla is not doing them any favors.
It's because of the booking.
There's some of it, but shit. They just need to blow it up, start over. And get the fucking Briscoes. Get FTR, get the Briscoes. Get Pretty Deadly up on the main roster. Keep the Viking Raiders. See what the Ascension's doing. Bring the fucking Ascension back.
No one wants to see them back. That's what's wrong with the. That goes even more to what's wrong with the tag division, the Ascension.
No way.
You
They were
know, by the
great. Do
way,
you not remember the Ascension?
yeah, they looked like freaking. What's that rock band with the guy who paints his eye, Alice Cooper?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I guess he kind of does.
They look like a broke Legion of Doom.
No, they were monsters though in NXT. They
Well,
were
they kept
great.
beating up jobbers,
They
and then
weren't beating up
boom.
jobbers. They were beating up all the NXT tag teams. For some
You know
reason,
a
like there's
team.
a huh?
I was just gonna say, you know a team I did like that never got a fair shake, and I don't know why. There's this team. Oh, I forgot their team name, but it was Deuce and Domino, and they had like this '50s look. They looked like the Fonz,
Deuce and
and they
Domino.
had Cherry.
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, they both look like the Fonz. And one was Jimmy Snuka's son.
Oh, that's sad.
But that was a good team. They were hard hitting, and yeah. And they come out, ba 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 boom. That was their song.
Hmm.
The Von Villains, they were a good tag team. But I don't know what we're talking about people that aren't there. Let's talk about people who are there. So I don't even know who won this match.
I don't either.
Um, totally forgot.
Totally
But
don't care.
it was what happened after the match that is the real story here.
Mm.
So, oh, you know what? The Street Profits won, and now I
Okay.
remember why. So the Street Profits won because Tozawa threw something in Dominique's eyes outside of the ring. By the way, this is not in the ring. He threw something into Dominique's eyes. You know, this is also off the back of him getting the mist in his eyes from Asuka. So that was enough of distraction outside for Finn Balor to be looking from inside the ring, and then he gets rolled up.
Makes sense.
So that's how they lost.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Now, now with that happening, and you're gonna love this. I don't
Oh
know if you
yeah.
saw it or not. So with that happening, since Tozawa threw something into Dominique's eyes, Rhea Ripley, she she decided to stand up for her man Dominic and challenge Tozawa to a match. And they had a sanctioned one-on-one match. Rhea Ripley versus Akira Tozawa. Now, would you want to take a guess on who won this match?
Oh, I would be shocked if Tozawa won.
You're right. Rhea Ripley won.
Yeah.
Now, this was, if I'm being honest, this was not the WWE mixed matches. I don't know. They didn't call it intergender. I don't know if you can really call it that anymore because it's 2020. But um,
In 2022.
yeah, 2022. But because it was a man versus a woman, their assigned genders,
Oh
there was
god.
no physicality. But from Tozawa,
Mm-hmm.
at no point did he hit Rhea Ripley.
Nope.
There was moments where he got offense, but the offense was him moving out of the way of her, like charging him, and then she hits the turnbuckle, or she hits the turnbuckle post, or she tries to do a power bomb and he reverses it into a Hurricane Rana. So he didn't throw any punches, he didn't throw any kicks. That was all his offense.
Mm.
But the match lasted, I don't know, like 2 minutes, maybe 4 minutes.
Mm.
Rhea Ripley wins off of a Riptide.
Mm.
Now, And this was great, obviously, because Rhea Ripley is that girl who can do that.
No, she's not.
Um, the problem is,
This, she's not. She's
oh,
not
she
the girl that
is.
can do that.
She is.
No, if this was
She's
real
that
fucking
bitch.
life, Rhea Ripley would have been in the hospital. Tozawa would have fucked her shit up. All this did,
No, if this was
yes, if this was real life, Rhea Ripley would be in the goddamn hospital. Don't sit
if
there and
this was
tell
real
me
life, she would have got him. She could beat him in real life.
she couldn't beat him in real life.
She could.
No, she couldn't.
Look at her. Look at him. Look at her.
Yeah, look
She's
at
like-
him. He looks like a fucking legit killer. She looks like
She's
a.
like
she just looks like
2
a.
feet taller than.
She's a thick lady.
Well, she's 2 feet taller than him, 2 inches.
So
So she's got reach.
he's got muscle.
Well, I think she could take him in real life, and she
Well,
took him.
I know
here.
she can't take him in real life.
How do you know?
I know.
Well, so the problem with this is, if they ever try to turn Tozawa into a legit wrestler, like have him, make a title or go for a title or something, or he starts beating people. Now we have to associate that he did lose to Rhea Ripley, so anybody he's beating, thus, would then lose to Rhea Ripley.
Well, and bear in mind, Rhea Ripley just had a competitive match the week prior to little tiny Asuka.
She did.
So if Tozawa were to have another match with anybody and it lasts longer than 2 minutes or 4 minutes, it's a joke. So the only thing that this did was accomplish in burying the entire roster. That's it. Ripley's not more over. Tozawa sure shit ain't more over. You can't put him in
make her look better.
And if they ever decide that, like you just said, if they decide that they're going to put him in a main event spot, and don't tell me that they can't, because just a few years ago, Roman Reigns was kicking Sami Zayn out of the locker room.
Right.
So, if they went that route, it's bullshit, because you can't. He lost to Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. Now we're gonna have to forget.
And this Rhea Ripley shit just needs to stop. Like, just have her fucking squash Brock Lesnar and get the shit over with. She's not that great.
She cannot take on Brock Lesnar.
Oh, yeah, she can. She's Rhea Ripley. She's the Eradicator.
That's true. But she can't beat Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's
Yeah, she can. She's Rhea Ripley, dude. She's Rhea Ripley. She's good. Have you seen her muscles? Dude, she's so strong. Rhea Ripley's so strong. Have you seen her muscles? She can take Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's a bitch. Come on.
Although that would be a pretty compelling match.
Oh, it'd be great.
Those two.
I bet it'd be a 7-star classic. Of course, Ripley would win easily.
You know what they could do with her? They could put her They can put her up, try to go for the IC title. She could take Theory, and then she could be.
Sure.
I believe China won the IC title.
Sure, and you know what? And you know the only people that are into this are the ones that pretend that women are equal in everything because they think that they're going to get lucky, when in reality it just wouldn't fucking happen, man. This shit's supposed to be real.
It's not supposed to be real.
Yes,
it's
it
supposed
is.
to be entertaining.
It's supposed to be fucking real.
This was sports entertainment right here.
This is
At its
wrestling.
finest.
Wrestling. Who's entertained by this?
I was.
Why are you entertained by it?
Because
What-
Rhea Ripley's a dominant force.
What entertainment do you see seeing a chick just beat the shit out of a guy?
Because number one, it was unexpected. It's like there's
How
no
was
way
it
they're
unexpected?
gonna-
You
they're
knew
gonna do
that
this.
was what they were going with. She was getting physical with them to begin with. They had Mia Yim fucking manhandle all of Judgment Day. So of course the
Now
Eradicators
it's
got to
all
get.
of Judgment Day.
Pretty much, it was Finn Balor and Dominique, and then she held her own against Rhea Ripley again. Rhea Ripley had a competitive match against Mia Yim.
But she won.
So that means Asuka can jump into the men's roster too.
Hey, come on. I mean,
It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous.
There's enough guys that are low enough on the card that I could job out to some women.
It's ridiculous.
Now,
And you know what?
what's not
You
not believable is jobbing out to Quincy Elliott.
You know.
No one's gonna be jobbing out to that thing.
You know why the people are leaving Raw and SmackDown in drove is because of shit like this.
Well,
they're seeing the lowest ratings in history because of shit like this. Instead of having good wrestling, like they had Gunther and Ricochet. That was like probably one of the best TV matches of the whole year. And you want to put Ripley versus Tozawa. It's a joke. It doesn't progress anything. Nobody looks better. Rhea Ripley doesn't look better for beating Tozawa.
She looks more dominant.
No, she doesn't. She fucking beat Tozawa.
You just said he's a killer and all that.
He is. I'm saying if it was real life.
But, yeah, now, but where are they going to go from here, though? That's another thing. Like, she can't. She's going to be struggling against whoever.
It's bullshit.
She's going to have a match against Alexa Bliss and struggle.
She will, too.
And then it's like, wait a minute now, you just beat
Tozawa. That's why it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's stupid.
Oh.
And again, that's why everybody's not watching the shit. Is because of the ridiculous shit like this. The people that they're catering to this shit to aren't watching it. They don't watch it. All they do is bitch about it.
Well, you say that, but they did have a boost in ratings. They pulled a 1.7 this week. So, I mean, but there's no competition. There's nothing on. You had the Rams versus Tampa Bay or some shit.
Well, I guess AEW was their ratings boosted too.
Yeah, there's.
Well, I just know the week prior they had the lowest ratings in history. So, and all they're doing is the same shit. They're doing this 50-50 booking instead of a few women that can fucking go. They got shitty women as a placeholder because they want everything to just be equal, and it's not. Most of the men suck.
Well, that's just a roster problem.
No, it's not a roster problem. We can go through the roster. There's some people on the roster that would be fucking that I would take.
Well, it's not a roster problem. It's a booking problem.
Yes. And that's the fucked up thing. Everybody's saying, "Oh, we gotta get rid of Vince. He's out of touch. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's stale. Oh, Triple H, we'll bring the fucking NXT. Triple H, he knows what he's doing." And and don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting him to just snap his fingers and bring us back to like 1975 NWA wrestling. But fuck, man, it's the same shit. It's the same shit. He hasn't missed a beat.
Well, to them, I mean, it's good for them, right? They're making more money than they ever have. It's bad for the fans.
I guess. I mean,
like, at the end of the day, their bottom dollar looks good, so they can talk to the shareholders and say, "Oh, look at our stats.
I guess I just
look at our numbers. Look at our TikTok."
I just thought as like a former wrestler, he would have put more emphasis in that. I get Vince being more of the business and whatever makes money, pal. But Triple H, on the other hand, just kind of disappointing, I
It'll
guess.
be it'll be interesting to see as we round the corner to the new year. I would expect that we're gonna see like the foot going down on the pedal as we are pushing towards WrestleMania.
Yeah. You know what? I bet at WrestleMania, aside from like some good matches, we're just gonna see the same shit that we're seeing now.
Well, I mean the pay-per-views have been pretty good.
The matches have been okay, but I mean the after the matches on Raw and SmackDown, it's the same fucking people that you see in the pay per views. The pay per views don't settle anything.
Well, that's just a wrestling thing.
That is not a
I
wrestling
mean,
thing. The pay per views are supposed to be a blow off.
it's a wrestling thing. Vince McMahon did it. WCW, they used to do it too. Oh, they just wrestled last night, but they're gonna wrestle again.
Okay.
Like that's just a thing.
All right. Fair enough.
Um, moving on. We move into
I have Miz versus
a
Loomis.
well, we moved into another backstage
Oh, right.
with some more bloodline beating up. I think I saw Andre Chase.
It was Dolph
Well, I
Ziggler.
did see. I did see Andre Chase. Saw Dolph Ziggler.
Mm.
Um,
Grabbing his neck.
yeah, and they're like, "What happened?" And he's like, "The bloodline happened."
Ah, damn it! Yeah. This is when it started getting old. I'd say. Like, I don't know. For some reason, just seeing Dolph Ziggler have lines.
Yeah, and he just got his ass beat, and um, yeah, he's able to talk. But we move on after that, and I think you're right. Then we get the Miz versus Dexter Loomis
And I don't give a shit. Because
in a ladder match.
didn't they have a match? They had a match, like a blow off match to for this fucking contract. Why are they keep doing this? Why
Well,
is he still?
this was a blow off. No, this was a double or nothing Money in the Bank type money in a suitcase thing. I don't know. They were. This was all for money
So stupid.
because the Miz wanted his money back. Um, yeah, the show really fell off the rails here. I was bored out of my mind watching the match.
You watched it?
I did.
Oh, you
The
poor
Miz
thing.
ends up winning this match,
Okay, sure, why not?
and he did so by the help of a returning Bronson Reed. Thick boy, Bronson Reed, made his
Yeah.
return back to WWE, and he
Was
helped
he
the Miz.
was he the one that was walking around with Kurt Angle on Raw on his birthday?
No,
Okay.
but yeah, he makes his return, and so he was in New Japan. So this was like a
Mm.
surprise return.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought he was in NXT.
And here we are again, another return. Now, there was no reaction on this return, right? He
Well,
came out. He
to be fair, they did just watch the Miz and Dexter Loomis wrestle again. I wouldn't have much of a
yeah. So
reaction after that either. Like, oh, The Rock could come out and interfere, and it just who gives a shit? It's fucking Miz and Dexter Loomis.
yeah. So you could say, yeah, that's probably what took them out of everything. But you do have this return, and there was no reaction from the crowd whatsoever. So now you have people in the community. They've caught up to your boy. They have started to ask, why are these people not getting vignettes when before they come return, so that the fans know who they are. If only someone has been saying that for what seems like a month.
I thought I thought Bronson Reed was already there, or
He
whoever.
was there. He was in NXT.
So then they know who he is.
They don't know who he is. And if they do know who he is, they didn't give a fuck about him.
Well, I go back to the fact that it was Dexter Loomis and the Miz. All this
But you
guy's
have,
doing, all this guy's doing is furthering a storyline that nobody gives a shit about.
well, that's true. But here's the difference. And I say this is a difference. So this debut, he didn't. There wasn't any music playing on the Titan, or his music didn't hit, and then the Titantron says Bronson Reed, and then he runs out to help the Miz. He came through the crowd. Um, I believe he may have had a hood on. I don't remember it that well, but he comes through the crowd. And he attacks the Miz, and it's like, who is this that's helping the Miz? So that is the correct way to re-debut someone if you're going to do that, right? He's coming back as muscle.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the difference is, as opposed to Tegan Knox, who just runs out helping someone and there's no reaction.
Well, she came out and she helped Liv Morgan avoid a 2-on-1 beatdown. So I
Right,
mean
to
that.
no reaction.
Well, it's Tegan Knox.
Well, it could have been someone. I mean, if they did vignettes before, then we know who that is.
I
They've
don't.
done vignettes since.
Would anybody give a
You see
shit?
the last you see the last 2 weeks they've talked about, her being a ex whatever she was, and
For what? Tegan
what
Knox?
yeah, coming back from the knee
Oh.
injuries. They did all that.
No, I sure didn't. Because I don't give a shit.
Well, you may not, but it is just funny that the community is finally catching up to what someone has been saying for weeks.
Hmm.
I think I might know what I'm talking about in this little wrestling game. That's all I'm saying.
I still maintain that you don't always need vignettes. Especially if you're going to have them in the. Come out from a crowd. Why are you going to introduce them like that and then have a crowd debut?
Well, yeah, that one was right.
But didn't Tegan Knox come from the crowd too?
No, she ran down the entrance ramp.
Oh, did she? Okay.
Yeah. I was
Mia
like, oh
Yim
my
came
God.
from the crowd.
Yeah, she did.
Okay. Okay.
But, but yeah, Bronson Reed returns, no reaction whatsoever. But, and again, I think this could be, now they've already kind of retracted that he's going to be paired with The Miz. Um, they more so did,
Which is the best news you could probably ever get as far as his main roster run.
yeah, they did this thing where he's just hired muscle
Why would you
for
want to be with the
anybody.
Miz? Did you not see what he did to Damian Sandow?
He got Sandow over.
No, Sandow got over.
He was doing that thing where he was mimicking The Miz,
Yeah.
and like while The Miz is getting beat up, he's on the outside selling the selling the fight himself.
Yeah, that was all Damian Sandow. That wasn't the Miz. Because if that was the case, Alex Riley would have had shades of that. Alex
Oh,
Riley was his
Alex
own
Riley
guy.
got over too.
Yeah, he sure did. Alex Riley
Boy,
got
they
over because he had a good look and he was a good wrestler. And
they
he had an
really
awesome theme song.
messed that one up.
Yeah, they did.
Like he had that major pop when he turned on the Miz,
Yeah.
and then
He still
what was
got
it?
it.
The next week he was in the main event, so
Uh,
they did good there. He was like in the main event with John Cena and someone else.
I don't know if he was quite in the main event, but he was pretty close. Pretty darn close.
Yeah, and then yeah, weeks after that they're just like, okay,
He was still over too when he was in NXT, and he briefly feuded with Kevin Owens.
yeah, they totally wasted him.
Yeah, they did. Well, apparently John Cena didn't like him or some
Yeah, he's too close to him.
shit.
I can't have another me on the roster.
I guess. But
Um, but yeah, so after the oh yeah, to finish up what I was saying, so I think that was the right debut for that particular type of person who's just going to be a muscle. You don't always need vignettes. Like if he's just going to be a hired muscle, um, I think they should have kept him paired with the Miz, honestly, and just be like the muscle for the Miz, and then he would have got over that way. Um,
not with the Miz.
Obviously,
Not at this stage. Miz ain't getting
believe it or
anybody
not,
over.
the Miz still gets reaction.
He gets reaction, but he's. I mean, come on.
All right, but he's one of the better
Come on.
reactions on the roster. Now I don't want to see him wrestle, which unfortunately is part of it. But he gets one of the biggest reactions on the roster.
Yeah, you won't want that wrestling to get in the way. The nonsense.
Absolutely.
All right.
Put him in the ring. Now we got trouble.
So moving on, we got a recap of Lashley getting fired. Only for them to come back and Pierce say that Lashley isn't fired anymore.
Yeah, and they're gonna figure something out. We got the tease where MVP went up to Pierce and asked about Bobby Lashley,
Mm-hmm.
which is a tease of the Hurt Business getting back together.
Oh, and apparently almost once Reigns now too.
Who?
Omos or Osmos or whatever the guy's name is.
Oh, Omos.
Yeah.
Why are they doing these interviews where everybody's just like, "Oh, I could do it"?
I don't know. I got tired of. I was gonna bring it up as one of our little headlines to talk about, but I just got tired of making that Roman Reigns thumbnail. Like at some point,
Well,
it's just ridiculous.
yeah, that's a little inside baseball, but yeah, everybody. It seems like every week there's someone new saying that they can be the one to take down Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Pretty soon you're gonna have to say, "Oh, I can do it." No, you can't. Sit down. Get back into the kids' table.
Although that would be one of the better. I don't know, because it's Omos. He's like a giant, so
Mm-hmm.
that would be one of the more believable. I can beat Roman Reigns.
I don't think so because Roman Reigns is big and athletic. Almost is just big, and he's non-athletic. It would be like the
I'm
Undertaker
not saying he
versus
could do it.
the Giant Gonzalez.
I'm not saying he could do it, nor should he do it. I'm just saying it would be one of the more believable ones.
Mm. I hate to say it, but I think Braun Strowman, even though he He's been demoted.
Oh, Braun Strowman being the one to take down Roman,
Oh, well, we
or
were
at
talking about
least,
believable.
well, yeah,
Lashley too.
that's where,
Bobby Lashley. Can't forget about him.
yeah,
And Gunther.
yeah, but you got to hold that off.
Yeah.
Like we can't do that one yet.
But what we can do is talk about the OC versus Alpha Academy, which I skipped. I guess the OC won.
Um, yeah, the OC won, of course, because the Alpha Academy was in the match.
Yeah. And
Another boring match.
they're all worthless right now, and they'll probably never be important. I don't see AJ Styles ever winning a WWE championship again.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to.
No,
There are reports that he might show up in
the New Japan.
Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
and it's like, man, all eyes are going to be on New Japan, huh?
yeah. So right on cue, the real stars show up, and they whoop the OC's ass. And
Yeah, so
then the bloodline.
maybe.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say then the bloodline hold the ring hostage, and I guess this is where the NWO stuff would come in, or where you would be reminded of it, because they're in the ring, and then you have security and Adam Pearce just get out, please. I'll give you $1.
Yeah, which was weird. Here he is supposed to be the general manager, or he's not the actual general manager. He's an official. He's there with all the security, yet he's not getting in the ring to get them out of the ring. He's just sitting out there begging.
Right. And I thought the fact that Sammy is now referring to himself as Sammy Uso was weird. Since we're talking about weird stuff. Like, he's openly, I'm Sammy Uso. Like, you're an honorary Uso still, dude. Counting your chickens before you hatch, aren't you?
Well, he's just in the family. He says, not they.
And then from that, we get AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn scheduled, because they only have 5 fucking wrestlers in this whole company.
Yeah. So to clarify, the OC from earlier was Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, which left AJ Styles open for a match, and then he challenged Sammy to a match. Thus, then they had the match.
Which it really wouldn't have mattered. I could see them. Oh, go ahead and just wrestle twice tonight. Nobody will notice.
It's the holidays. No one's gonna watch anyway. Sammy wins. So there's that. He won off of a. Not only did he win, he won off of a Blue Thunder Bomb.
Well,
he never wins with.
He had help with Sakoa Joe getting that spike in.
Yeah, but he never wins off the Blue Thunder Bomb.
But what we didn't see was Sakoa Joe versus Mia Yim. I was disappointed. We had one more OC member left, and we had one more Bloodline member left. Could have had Sakoa Joe versus Mia Yim. I bet it would have been
interesting.
Yeah, I bet it would have been competitive.
It would have been like Umaga versus Eva Marie. Where he freaking killed her.
See, now that's an intergender match.
That was like when he did the hip attack on her.
Yeah.
And then she just like stopped moving.
Umaga's great. Like every time you see Sakoa Joe try to beat Umaga, it just, I don't know, man. It just doesn't work. Umaga looked like he would peel the skin off of you.
I think it's because he's a little bit smaller. Like,
Probably.
yeah, Umaga was just like a different build of person.
Yeah. Anyway, so then we get a Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss face off. I skipped it because I don't give a fuck. I skipped it to the predictable Bray Wyatt blip, which happened, and Alexa Bliss smashed a vase over Bianca's head.
Yeah, so I guess to kind of sum up the segment, Bliss tells Bianca Belair that she was captured. She she actually mentions Bray Wyatt, so she talks about that little thing. She says she was captured by Bray Wyatt, um,
God.
and then he left her and then gave her abandonment issues,
Oh my
and
goodness.
she had to go to therapy, and she was winning titles before Bianca Belair was even on the roster.
Okay.
That sums that up. And then Bianca said, "Okay, we'll take my title then," or some shit. And oh, and she says she doesn't trust Bliss, and then turns around and gets the vase in the back of her head.
She was proven right.
Or Voss. Is it Voss or Vase? Which
Yeah.
one you want to do? Let us know in the comments.
It'd be Vaz, not Voss.
I've heard it both ways.
No, you haven't.
I say whatever.
Well, you say it wrong. Um. Yeah. Whatever. I don't care. I
But
find it interesting that Alexa Bliss being tied to Bray Wyatt has seen more action than actual Bray Wyatt.
well, I mean, on SmackDown he did his thing.
He did
He
one
wanted
thing.
physicality. He got physical,
He did one thing.
but he did it.
Bray Wyatt or Bliss smashed a vase over somebody's head.
I'm just saying, you wanted him to get physical. He did.
He didn't get physical. Somebody got physical with him. Big difference.
He got physical.
He didn't get physical. What did he get physical with? How did he
The
get physical?
cameraman.
Oh. Oh, you're right. My bad.
Um. So yeah, apparently they got this title match scheduled like January 4th or whatever, the first Raw of the new year.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm starting to think Bliss might win this, but on the other hand, we are getting towards WrestleMania season, so why Bianca Belair would lose the title this close to WrestleMania doesn't make sense. Unless they do like a hot shot where she loses it and then wins it back to, you know, add more TV time or, fill time until it's real WrestleMania season.
Okay. I think that'd be a mistake.
Probably, but
Yeah.
they do seem it's either going to be that or Bray Wyatt's going to cost in some way. Bray Wyatt's going to cost Bliss the title, and then that story is going to continue. But they're on two different rosters, so that's
That is
something
kind of
there.
weird. How you have that association and whatever. I just know I have zero interest in Belair and Bliss.
Oh, there you go.
All right, so moving on, we got Seth Rollins. He said some shit that Becky probably told him to say, and then Theory comes out. They're doing their I'm a man and let's go, champ, let's go right now. Then the bloodline comes out. And Theory, the only smart person, runs to leave Seth Rollins to fend for himself against the bloodline.
Yeah, so they do that thing where it's like they're about to fight, and then Rollins like, "Oh, let's handle this later because we're about to get our ass beat."
Right.
And then he takes his jacket off. Theory starts taking his jacket off, puts it back on, rolls out the ring. It's like, nah, you're on your own.
Yeah, he did the heel thing.
Seth Rollins did not back down.
He didn't back
He
down.
stood his ground against the Usos. And out for the save comes Kevin Owens.
Of course.
Because,
He
we
hasn't
need
wrestled the
another.
Usos yet tonight. So,
Yeah, we need another Kevin Owens Usos match in some sort.
yeah.
Like, we just plucked Riddle for Rollins.
Pretty much, yeah.
Um,
And then, well, whatever.
Go ahead.
He wrestled him the week before. Or he wrestled Jay. It's been 3 weeks of Kevin Owens and the Usos. You're telling me that there's not one other motherfucker that Kevin Owens can wrestle besides the Usos. And on top of that, he's feuding with them. Can't you build
Well,
up to
might
the
get.
Can't you build up to the match properly instead of just like doing it over and over again and just having a longer match?
Yeah, and then if things go the way as the community would have you believe, and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are going to take the titles from the Usos, which I again don't agree with or believe. That means we're going to see yet another Kevin Owens versus Uso thing. So they're going to keep this going all the way until WrestleMania, until Sami Zayn is Kevin Owens' final partner.
Oh my goodness. This is not compelling. I don't give a shit. As a fan, I do not care about this storyline. I don't see how watching the same thing over and over and over again is good wrestling TV.
No disagreement here. So
Anyway,
we move
oh,
on then. Uh, what happened next? So we move on
oh,
to
Becky
Becky
Lynch pretends
Lynch,
to be Bray Wyatt.
and that she what cuts a promo.
And she's in the little back with the little mood lighting in the boiler room. Oh, I'm Becky Lynch. Whatever. Fuck Becky Lynch.
Oh, yeah, she does the plea for Bailey to come out there by herself for this one-on-one match that they haven't had in 4 years.
The only difference is she didn't have her theme song playing.
Yeah, and then we move into the Bailey versus Becky Lynch match. Um, is an okay match, I guess.
I
It's
skipped it
wrestling,
because
so.
Bailey's a loser and Becky Lynch is awful. But I was
And it
surprised
was.
that. Good.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I was surprised that Bailey won for once. I don't know why, but she won.
She did. There was a there was a moment where damage control got thrown out, and off of the distraction, Bailey hits Becky Lynch with, I believe it was the title, one of the tag titles, and then hits her with the rose plant, and Bailey finally wins the match against Becky Lynch of all people,
Yeah, it's like the first time
because
in a year.
everybody knew going in that Bailey was probably going to lose this match, and then lo and behold, we were surprised.
Yeah. So when it
And
doesn't count and there's nothing to gain, Bailey will win a match.
yeah, and then we're probably going to
They're gonna
get this
wrestle
match
again at
again
some
at some
point. Yeah.
point.
Yeah. Next week probably.
No, I don't think they're gonna do it next week.
Oh,
Probably.
I do. We've had 3 weeks of Kevin Owens versus the Usos. You don't think that they'll do Becky Lynch and Bailey again? Or it'll be Becky Lynch versus the Damage Control, the Dakota Kai and Io Sky. And she'll just take on both the tag champs. No
Well,
problem.
it is worth noting. Speaking of next week, It is worth noting that there is no Raw coming up this week, so
No.
they
Okay.
just have a they just have a recap show.
Really?
Yeah.
That's odd. Is that new?
So they're
Did they do
um
that last year?
I don't think they did it last year, but you know, since it's the day after Christmas, I assume they're just giving everybody time to be with their families and stuff. So
What the hell?
we have no Raw.
What? Oh,
So do we,
oh, Vince is coming back.
that'll be interesting.
I'll be goddamn if people have family time on my watch. We'll get Theory and Rollins out there. They're gonna have a wrestling bout.
But on the flip side of that, SmackDown seems to be getting loaded up like a freaking pay-per-view.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, you got John Cena and Roman Reigns in a match on
Meh.
TV.
Meh.
When's the last time Roman Reigns wrestled on TV?
Yesterday.
No, it's been a long time.
I don't know.
It's been months. And Cena, obviously, he's never there, so
Well,
yeah, they're
if
kind of
Roman
loading
Reigns
that
did
up.
wrestle on TV, he would just be wrestling who he was wrestling on the pay per view. Like he would be wrestling Logan Paul for
Not on
weeks.
TV.
Yeah, he would be wrestling Logan Paul for weeks up until the pay per view.
I don't even. Logan Paul's never wrestled on TV either.
Yeah,
They don't do TV matches.
I'm
They
saying
go
if they
for.
if Roman Reigns were to do TV matches, that's how it would go down.
He's already doing a TV match, and it's not Logan Paul. It's John Cena.
You're not you okay. Let's just move on.
What? He
No,
is doing a
we're
TV
moving
match.
on. We'll
You're
just move
talking
on.
about. You're saying if he does
I don't
one,
want
he is doing
to.
one.
You said when was the last time you ever seen him do a TV match? And then I said if he did do TV matches, X, Y, and Z would happen. We're not talking about what's happening next week. We're talking about if he were to do TV matches consistently, it would be the same shit that we see right now.
Well, I can already say it was a good call for him to not be doing TV matches because it's a special thing when he actually does wrestle.
Yeah.
Um,
I just wish he would like show up more.
yeah,
I don't
there's that.
understand how you can have a champion like a part-time champion. That just makes absolutely no sense to me. It made no sense when Brock did it. It makes no sense when Roman's doing it.
Yeah, they got to find a way to get. I mean, I don't want. They do have to find a way to get the titles off of him. At least get a title back on Raw. But I don't want to see, the champion wrestling week to week either.
No, not at all. I mean, like maybe a TV match a month or something. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I don't remember Hogan wrestling every week either. He never wrestled on TV.
Well, when he did, it was always bullshit. Like it'd be immediate interference,
Yeah.
or he would abduct his opponent and beat him in a cornfield while
Or he
helicopters are circling. Like, oh man, we're watching this assault, but we could be doing something, but who would be shining the light on for these guys?
or the opponent would get attacked right before the match, and then he just gets rolled in the ring and gets pinned.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't like the part-time shit. I mean, good for the folks that can make as much money as they can while doing the least amount of work. But again, as a fan, I like it when the champion is at least on the show each week.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have to wrestle every week, but we can at least see him,
Yeah, you can talk.
build some opponents, build some feuds,
Well,
like the next feud that we have,
yeah.
or this feud that we have in this next match, the main event of the evening,
Which
which
is
was
Kevin Owens and the Usos again.
and Seth Rollins.
Oh, and Seth Rollins.
Now, here is the problem I had with Monday Night Raw as a whole.
Okay.
So, um, Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. Well, not even that, okay? Seth Rollins gets attacked by Austin Theory. So you have now Kevin Owens left alone to face. This was at the end of the match, but
Okay.
now Kevin Owens is facing both Usos, yet they still win the match. So we spent the 3 hour show with the bloodline attacking people, being built up as this. We're getting revenge on the whole roster because this is where Kevin Owens is.
Right.
And the payoff for that was for the bloodline
To
at the end
lose.
of the night to be losers.
Again.
Yeah,
Which
like,
they lose all the time, unless it's for the belts. Then they seem to win that.
yeah, but they were building up to this great thing, right?
Right.
They could have taken this such a different direction. I
They
don't
could have
know,
done to
maybe have the
Owens what they
bloodline.
did to Sheamus.
Yeah, or they could, yeah, or I don't know, just one week have the bloodline looking strong at the end of the night. But no, they had to they had to take it away because Roman wasn't there.
Yeah, two guys who just teamed together that night beat the tag team champions. One of which was um, incapacitated by the guy he was feeding with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Paul McMahon Russo booking for you.
Now, the one thing is at least they used to team pretty regularly.
Rollins and Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
like they did. There's this whole thing, and they even touched on this during the segment beforehand. And Rollins was like, "Oh, we used to make a good team. Why'd we stop teaming?" He's like, and Kevin Owens like, "Oh, because you tried to steal my WrestleMania match." Rollins is all, "What? That wasn't me." No, it was you. And you remember I had the thing where I was going to call out Stone Cold, and then you said, no, I'd be better at it, so I'm going to take the match. And then we had a match to determine who was going to get to call out Stone Cold. You don't remember that? You're wearing a you're wearing a really colorful suit. No, that doesn't sound like me.
Okay.
So, yeah, they had the callback to that, but they haven't teamed in a while, and yeah. So
They're
then we
not the
had
tag team champions. Were they ever tag team champions?
um, I don't think so. No.
Okay. So yeah, makes no sense.
But that was your Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, that was Monday Night Raw. Blech.
And then we move on to SmackDown.
Boy, did we move on
Smack
to SmackDown.
SmackDown was a taped show, so naturally they had the B team fill in that show because all of the actual stars were probably home with their families.
They were watching, saying, "Man,
Yeah,
it sucks to be those guys."
like, oh, you got it. So we open the show. The Bloodline comes out to the ring.
Of course.
Um, Now this was taped, so that's why they were able to come out to the ring because they were already there. um, they did their the typical Bloodline thing
Mm-hmm.
where talk about acknowledge us, we're gonna smash John Cena, um, and then Roman Reigns lets Sami Zayn do some talking. Sami Zayn cut a pretty good promo, and he said, this is supposed to be the best moment of my life. Here I am. I was about to get the honorary taken away from me, but I can't shake this Kevin Owens thing from my name. You know, every time I move forward, you have Kevin Owens there dragging me down. Uh, Sami Zayn says he talks about how he's gonna hurt Kevin Owens next week, and they'll acknowledge the bloodline.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much the end of that segment.
Well, one, I wasn't a fan of the Christmas decorations because I knew that that would be incorporated into a wrestling match at some point. Oh my God, was I right?
Well, of
Um,
course, we had the Miracle on 34th Street fight.
um, we had the
Vince McMahon
Usos.
booking.
We had the Usos versus Hit Row. Seriously, announced for later. Sakoa Joe versus Sheamus again. Is announced for, was it the December 30th SmackDown?
Yeah.
And there was something else. Oh yeah, the tag match with Cena, Roman, and et al. My question
Right.
is, why would Roman? Okay, you got the Bloodline, you got three badass Samoans, and then you got Sami Zayn. Why would Roman, the tribal chief, pick Sami Zayn as a tag team partner?
Um, that's a good point. I think what it is he really, even though War Games just happened,
Mm-hmm.
right? Last week, you had Sami Zayn do that slip of the tongue where he said he was Kevin Owens' only friend.
Okay.
So I think it's more testing Sami Zayn to make sure he's really with the bloodline.
Well, I thought that's what War
Like
Games was.
it is.
He gave him the hell of a kick and then he sacrificed Owens. What more does he want?
I think I don't know. I think they want him to further prove
I don't know.
either that or it's more of a control thing. Like he wants to put him even more under the hook.
Yeah,
So
but
he's like, "You're teaming with me."
that makes sense, I guess. But then once Cena gets in, isn't shit real? Don't you want to?
Then you wish you'd have a better partner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like obviously, no, I don't know. I don't know who's gonna win that match.
Oh, it's gonna be Cena and
If
Sami Zayn's gonna get pinned, um,
yes,
and probably by Kevin Owens.
I was gonna say yeah. If Cena and Owens wins, obviously Sami Zayn's there to take the pin. So now he's let down the tribal chief. So there's something to build the story off of that.
It just
Uh,
makes no sense that
Now,
the tribal chief. Now, if it was Jey Uso or if it was Solo Sikoa, um, looking for a partner, that'd be one thing. But you got the tribal chief, the best of the best, and he picks
yeah,
little
I get
Sami
it.
Zayn. He's the
I
smallest
get
guy
it.
on the bloodline.
I get it. But it's a control thing.
Okay.
Don't
Also,
question. You don't question the tribal chief. He knows what he's doing.
after War Games, didn't Kevin Owens say he didn't want a match with Sami Zayn?
Yeah, he wanted nothing to do. It
Wanted
seemed.
absolutely nothing to do with him. Didn't want to wrestle him ever again for as long as he lived. And what do? They book a match immediately. They don't build up
Well,
to nothing.
well. To be fair, he didn't make the match. Roman made the match.
And he accepted it. He could have said, you know
He
what,
didn't.
Roman? I want you. But hey,
He
I don't
didn't.
have any interest in Sammy. Pick somebody else. You
You
got
didn't
three other
hear.
people.
You didn't hear Roman Reigns. There was no question. He said, "Tell Kevin Owens to find a partner, and it doesn't matter who it is, and we're gonna smash you on SmackDown."
He could have
He
said
didn't
no.
say. He didn't say go ask Kevin Owens,
Anyway,
and then Pierce said I'll let him know.
it's just
So you don't get it. The bloodline runs things. They say they're going to be in a match. They're in a match.
well, they don't run things.
Apparently,
They don't run things smartly because you got the tribal chief picking the smallest guy to face John Cena and Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is
well, they
beating
didn't
the
know it was going
tag
to be
team
John Cena.
champions. What?
They didn't know it was going to be John Cena.
They do now?
Well, you can't change
They
it
got,
now.
yeah, they can. Samoa Joe's not doing anything.
And there was, I mean, maybe they changed it like the day of, but also Sami Zayn's like the most one of probably second most over of the bunch. So there's that, for the
Sure.
crowd.
But I'm just saying that realistically speaking, the general is not going to pick the lowest guy on the totem pole to go to war with.
He could.
No, he
And
couldn't.
then there was the
If
moment afterwards.
the only way that they could is if their platoon gets assaulted and they're the only two survivors left.
Okay. I want to move on, so we'll just say
Okay,
okay.
fair enough. We have spent a lot of time on this.
um, there was that moment at the end of the segment where Roman hugs Sami Zayn, and then he looks right into the camera. I didn't get what he mouthed, but that look he gave to the camera was like he knows something. Anyway, and then we move on to our first match of the evening. We have Hit Row versus the Usos
You know,
for
this pissed me off. You got the Imperium in a fucking joke match. And then you have Hit Row given a fucking title opportunity. It's ridiculous. It's an embarrassment. Especially after that big lurching fuck messed up that suicide dive.
There you go. See, I told you you'd have time to get him. Now here's your opportunity.
No, fuck him. He's slow. He's uncoordinated. He has a big, dumb, goofy look on his face every time he gets into the ring. Every time his face is on camera, I just want to hit it. He's
I mean,
useless.
he is like 6'8", so.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that I would hit it. I said I want to hit it. I'm not stupid. Come on now.
And he kind of looks like Suge Knight a little bit.
No, Suge Knight. Nah. Suge Knight looks intimidating. This guy just looks big.
Well,
So thank God
this
the
match
Usos won.
yeah, this match was as bad as you would have thought.
Oh, and top dollar,
yeah.
the reason why he fucked up his suicide dive is because his legs fucked up.
Yeah, I said that last week.
No, but oh, did you?
Yeah,
Oh.
that was the reason he gave for not clearing the rope at all.
I couldn't remember if that was in story or after we talked about it. I thought I was breaking some shit. Apparently, I don't pay attention to what we say.
Yeah, he went on social media and said that.
Yeah.
So now during the match, he's selling his leg injury. He's probably really hurt because
He probably really heard it afterwards.
how hard he hit that. He hit the apron. It looked like he had messed his hip up, and then he couldn't even lift the dude. Speaking of not even lifting the dude, he did the spot that he usually does, or he tried to do the spot where it's like a fireman's carry power slam combination with each of the persons.
It's bad.
So,
Whatever. Oh yeah.
He had one of the Usos up in the fireman's carry, and then he had the other Uso trying to get him up in a body slam. The other Uso had to pretty much jump into his arms, and then from there he couldn't even hold him up. It was just bad.
He's bad. Every
He's
time he's
gonna have
on
to.
the, every time he's on screen, it's just bad. It's just an example of awful.
Yeah, and it's getting to a point where he's holding back Shanti the Adonis because you can see he has some talent. Um, Top Doll is probably gonna have to go back to NXT for a while or something.
No, he needs to be a bouncer at a nightclub. I'm telling you.
Oh, he needs something. not not on SmackDown.
Or he needs to be part of a musician's entourage. One of the big guys that just stand there with his arms folded, sunglasses on, doesn't say anything. Just looks big and intimidating. That's what he could do. He can't wrestle. He's not athletic, so he can't do the sports. He ain't entertaining. So, there's no box that this motherfucker checks.
Well, there you go. Top Dollar, everybody. um, and yeah, so the Usos win this match, and there's nothing really more to say about it, honestly. So then we move on to Imperium. Imperium. Uh,
And they said
you
nothing.
know, well, didn't they? They did say something. Well, they said something.
No, they said, oh, this is a disgrace. We're going to bring honor back to our sacred mat. Or mat or
Well, they said
land?
the mat. The mat.
Okay.
Essentially, they just said what you said, that you have Hit Row getting a title match and they're in this joke match. Well, that's what they said. I can't believe that we're disgracing our sacred sport by having this type of match.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what they said. So they're disgusted in the fact that they had to do this street fight,
I
Miracle
was
on 34th
disgusted
Street
too.
fight, this sports entertainment.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what they said, and then we go on to the gauntlet match.
Real quick, I thought a gauntlet match was one person starts and then he has to wrestle like four people. Obviously not at the
It
same
could
time.
be.
Like he beats that person or he loses and it's over. But I thought that was
That's
a gauntlet match.
that's the old school gauntlet match. So,
Huh?
and I don't think it's that's the old school gauntlet match. And I don't think it was ever that. So it's always been,
I remember Austin had one.
well, it's always been two competitors start. Whoever wins goes on to the next challenger, and then you have however many set people in the match, and then whoever gets the last pinfall essentially wins the gauntlet match.
How has it always
The only
been that?
difference is
When's the other? What's another gauntlet match that's had that stipulation?
what?
You're telling me that it's always been two people, and then whoever loses has to fight somebody else in a set amount of wrestlers, right?
No, the winner goes on, the loser goes back to the locker room.
Right.
So it's always been that way. The only difference is when you had like people like Austin and The Rock, and when you had them going through the gauntlet match, they never lost. So you never got the other scenario. It
I
was
don't.
just them running the gauntlet.
I don't think that it was. I don't think it was set like that. I think it was them. They had to wrestle five fucking people that evening. I'll have to. I'm just.
Oh,
This is
okay.
a legit question.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. You're right.
Okay.
So that yes, that was the stipulation was a gauntlet match where they had to wrestle five people
Okay. So
or however many.
this isn't a gauntlet match then, right? This is something else. They just happen to call it a gauntlet match.
It is a gauntlet. It's just different. And the fact that it wasn't. Yes, if this was the old gauntlet match, it would have been Raquel Rodriguez having to go through all their
Everybody.
competitors.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I guess this isn't a gauntlet match. Now that I'm
Okay.
saying, maybe this is more a eliminator match or something.
It's almost like a championship scramble without everybody competing at once. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just not a gauntlet match to me. Maybe I'm wrong too.
yeah.
Tell us in the
I didn't think
comments.
about it. I didn't think about that hard, but yeah, you're right.
So
There's
then we get to the match, and I guess Xia Li, last SmackDown, she interfered in a match or something like that. She was
yeah,
hooded,
she did the run in to help Damage Control win the match.
which I gotta say, Xia Li looked kind of impressive. I like how she came out looking like Kung Lao. Um,
Oh yeah, she did. Remember
Emma,
I was remember last week I was talking about I'm a cakeologist or what did I say? I'm a bootyologist, a
uh huh,
cakeologist,
yeah, yeah.
whichever one you want to go with. Cakeologist might sound better. Let us know in the comments. So, but yeah, I was talking about Xia Li.
Okay,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, go ahead.
Emma's fucking awful, and everything. She's slow. She has the Alexa Bliss Liv Morgan thing where they look like they're just doing a dance routine as opposed to actually having a fight. She didn't sell the loss at all. As soon as she got pinned, she started scratching her nose and she just sucks. And I thought Xia Li looked really impressive until she had like an actual match with Emma. Like she should have killed her, but she didn't because they don't know how to build people up. Um, they had a real opportunity to. They either should have let Xia Li win and dominate the whole thing, or not have her in there at all. Because if they're gonna have little Raquel Pennington or whatever the fuck her name is go in there with a broken arm, and then they're gonna say, "Oh, she is in no shape to compete," then why the fuck is she in there? Why is she in there? If you're telling me that she's in no shape to compete, why is she in there?
Cause she's getting her match.
Well, she's awful. The only one that I was even remotely interested in was Xia Li, and they beat her. So, bleh. Raquel won. Yay. Wasn't a gauntlet match.
Oh, they call it a gauntlet match. Okay, my turn.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, so much wrong with this. So much wrong with this match. So first of all, we start out with Xia Li and Emma. They start this. We'll just call it a gauntlet match for simplicity, because I don't want to. We don't have time to come up with a new name right now, and that's what the WWE called it. So that's what we're gonna go with right now. Okay, Emma and Xia Li start this match. Xia Li wins. Why? Number one, well, actually, to both of them, why are they even in a gauntlet match to even be able to earn a title match, as neither one of them have won a singles match in however long. Emma hasn't won a match since she's come back. That's number one. And number two,
Hold
why
on?
is Emma?
Is Xia Li? Has she been on the roster before?
Yeah, she's been there,
Oh,
sitting and catering.
oh. See, this is my first time seeing her, so to me, this is like a debut. So if she's been there before, then yeah, you're absolutely right.
And that's another part that's going to be a problem in this gauntlet match. But you have Emma. Why did they even bring her back? Like, is
Right.
if this is the best they have for her, is just to be jobbed out in like 2 minutes,
She's terrible.
and she's yet to win a match. That's one. Um, Next up, so we get Xia Li winning this little match. Next up, we have Tegan Knox. She goes one on one with Xia Li as the next opponent. Now, issue number two with this with this gauntlet match. So, you remember how you just said that uh, Xia Li interfered to cost the title match last week?
Yeah.
The person she hit was Tegan Knox.
Okay.
Now, you would think during the during this gauntlet match they would have, I don't know, mentioned that or played up to that at all,
I
but
thought
they
they did.
didn't.
I thought they mentioned it at the very start of their
Well, they
back and
showed the
forth.
recap.
Okay.
They
Is
showed
that
the
not
recap,
enough? They got a
but
vignette. That's what you wanted.
I'm
Was
saying
that not a good vignette?
the wrestlers didn't act like this happened at
Oh.
all. And not only like
That
Tegan Knox didn't act like she was mad at this or anything.
that would
Maybe she
require
didn't
wrestling and
know.
storytelling, which is something that these ladies don't have.
Yeah, maybe she didn't know it was her. I don't know. But she acted like it wasn't her.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, she loses to Xia Li.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're done with Emma and Tegan Knox.
Yep.
And again, I said it already, and I'm going to say it again. Tegan Knox has yet to win a singles match since she's come back. Why is she in a match to qualify for a title?
More importantly, why are you gonna beat her like that so soon when she came? You know, like she just came back. Why are you just made her a nobody?
Right, she hadn't even had a singles match.
The same thing with Xia Li. Like if you're gonna either make her a killer, if you're gonna make her the female Sakoa Joe, make her the female Sakoa Joe. Don't fucking do this back and forth shit. She shouldn't have had a competitive anything with Emma. She should have just killed her. Everything doesn't have to be a great match. It's okay to have somebody just completely annihilated.
Well, these matches were like 2 minutes, so I don't know how competitive they really were.
Well, the fact that Emma got
Um,
any offense in,
right.
Emma, with her little stupid faces.
Well, we move on to then. So Emma down, Tegan knocks down, both by Xia Li.
Yep.
And again, they didn't really play into the story from the previous week,
No.
and it was a lackluster. Like
The whole
Tegan
thing was
knocks
lackluster. Lackluster's
here.
the word of the match.
Well, here's Tegan Knox supposed to be getting revenge, and she's on her back looking up at the lights.
Right.
We move on to
That's how I feel.
we move on to Raquel Rodriguez, who, as you said, she's competing with one arm because she's got the sling in there,
Right.
or she's got that thing on her arm because she's got the broken arm, and she proceeds to then beat Xia Li.
So Xia Li's a
Okay,
nobody now.
so now she's buried Xia Li because
Yep.
you lost to a one-armed woman.
Yeah, and I don't give a fuck if you've already wrestled two people. Like, she's got a broken arm. She's in no condition to compete. She snuck out there.
Yeah, and didn't you have the officials trying to hold her back, or was I imagining that? Or was that a week before?
I think that was the week before.
Okay.
No, she came
So,
out and competed, uncontested. So she was clearly cleared to compete. If this is a legitimate sports company.
okay. So we get through that. And now Rodriguez has beat Xia Li. Next out is Liv Morgan.
God.
Liv Morgan, the former SmackDown Women's
Don't even.
Champion,
No,
the
she doesn't.
former.
She doesn't get that accolade.
Just let me do it.
Okay.
The former Women's Champion, the only woman on the roster their words, to have beat Ronda Rousey twice, and she is not able to beat Raquel Rodriguez, who's one-armed, and Liv Morgan was the fresh opponent. So, so Rodriguez has now buried Xia Li. She buried Liv Morgan because she beat Liv Morgan, who was fresher than her, and she only had one arm.
Yeah.
We then, so, and they put on the longest part of the matches, maybe like 10 minutes or so. So I guess you can say she put up the most fight. And she also got a Chicana bomb that looked more like a fallaway slam. So it's the worst Chicana bomb that she could have ever gotten. But we're done with Liv Morgan. Now we then, out comes Sonya Deville. Again, Sonya Deville, fresh as can be, and she fails to beat a one-armed Raquel Rodriguez. So, Liv Morgan, Xia Li, Sonya Deville all couldn't beat her, who, again, only has one arm, because her other arm is quote-unquote broken.
Sounds about right. Sounds plausible.
So now we have Raquel, she's won this gauntlet match. Oh, but wait, out comes Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey says, because,
Real
we
quick,
haven't buried enough.
if there's anybody on the roster that should have an OnlyFans, I really wish it was Rhonda.
Really?
Yeah. Something about her. It's the body.
Oh, what funny you said that. Because I was thinking, while I was watching Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, I was like, you know, with the success that Mandy Rose has had, I think Liv Morgan should should test her waters. Test the waters.
And Liv doesn't do anything for me.
Hmm.
I know she should, but just the way she wears her stupid glasses when she's not in character just lets me know that she's in character.
Talking about glasses?
Yeah, just I don't like her. I don't like her. I just
What
don't
does
like
character have to do with anyway? Anyway, that's a sidetrack, but it's funny because I was thinking OnlyFans during this match too,
her.
but for a different reason.
No, same reason, different person.
Yeah. Um. so so
But do it,
Raquel
Rhonda. Show solidarity, women's power. Don't let Mandy Rose
Raquel
take the heat. Come on, do it, Rhonda.
please.
Please, I'm begging you.
So yeah, Raquel wins this match, and then out comes Ronda Rousey. She says, "Oh, you've got one more opponent," and she sends her right hand of destruction, Shayna Baszler. And as I've said twice already, as fresh can be, not even sweating, Shayna Baszler runs out there,
MMA
and
trained Shayna Baszler.
yes, and in under a minute gets rolled up.
Yeah.
So yes, Raquel Rodriguez pretty much buried the entire roster with one arm.
Yeah. It was pretty ridiculous.
But she has earned herself a title match next week for January, whatever. And I assume that this is just to build to their Royal Rumble title match. So something's going to happen. It's going to be a fuck finish or something. And that's going to build towards the Royal Rumble match. So yes, you're going to see Raquel and Ronda wrestle so that they can wrestle again at Royal Rumble.
I can't wait.
But yeah,
I
that's the
can't
problem
wait
I
to
have.
personally skip that match.
There you go. But that's the problem I had. And
There's a lot of
speaking of
problems.
MMA fighters, speaking of MMA fighters, Misha Tate, she could do one too.
Yeah.
But
I don't think she's as
she
cute
might
as
be too
Ronda, though.
fake. She might be too fake now. She's got all the. I don't know how much of hers in there still.
Misha, I know there's a part of you in there still. We're gonna
With all
save
the
you.
surgery.
So that was the quote unquote gauntlet match.
Yes.
So next
Raquel
out,
Rodriguez gets a title match.
whoop de doo.
Next.
We get Bray Wyatt. Now, I'm going to say something good about Bray Wyatt. I liked what he did with the lantern. I don't know if he put like dry ice on it or if there's like a little teeny smoke machine in the lantern or it just happens to be like residual smoke. But I like the fact that the lantern was smoking. I thought that was kind of cool. But then he comes out, he says some bullshit, and then he puts the camera guy in a mandible claw. And then he's left in an orgasmic trance. And there was
Yeah,
no...
so he basically says that he says, "Oh, I never get tired of, or I'll never get used to everybody expecting, anything from me or whatever." Um, and then he says that you all thought I was Uncle Howdy, and I told you I wasn't. And LA Knight, I know he owes me an apology. And yeah. And then like mid promo he says he lost his train of thought and then out of nowhere just attacks the cameraman.
Yep. So there was no Captain Howdy and there was no LA Knight.
Uncle Howdy.
Whatever.
You know what's starting to, speaking of circling, you know what ideas are starting to circle around in the community?
What's that?
Uncle Howdy versus Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. In a sense of like a Undertaker versus Undertaker type match. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I just
I,
wanted to
I
let you
was
know that
thinking Bray
information.
Wyatt versus Alexa Bliss. Why not?
Hey, that'd be a good match.
Yeah. Hmm.
Next up, we move into a Rey Mysterio versus Angel Garza, who has lost his last name for some reason and just call him Angel. And I don't know, this they did a match. Obviously, Rey was going to win this match. The majority of this match, Karrion Kross is sitting in the crowd watching on, and he didn't get physical or anything.
Which is
They were
sad that
just
they made him
watching.
work on Christmas Eve just to stand in a crowd.
Yeah, like he had nothing really to do. But I guess to his defense, his wife was there with him. She was right there. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Speaking of, real
Um,
quick, do you still watch Sheamus's Celtic Warrior stuff?
I do. I haven't watched it the last couple, but I
Okay.
do.
I think Karrion Kross was the last one, him and Scarlett. And if there's
Yeah, I
anybody that
haven't
could,
watched that one yet.
if there's anybody that should be doing like workout shit, it's Karrion Kross. He was all instructional and like you should have put a headset on and did the little we're gonna do plyo.
Oh, speaking of which, I did. Uh, I did the Bobby Lashley one from a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
I couldn't even make it past the warm up. The
really.
quote warm up.
I need to
Yeah, you know,
yeah I need to start
because
doing that.
I try to, I watch the show and then I try to like do that workout the following, if I can, if I have the equipment
Right.
and if there's stuff I can do in it. Like, if they're doing 100 pull-ups, then I'm gonna have to sit that one out. But
Just do the Sasha
if I
Banks
can,
ones. She just does rubber bands.
yeah. Well, there you go. But if I can do it, yeah, I try. I try to do them the following day at the gym, and I tried the Bobby Lashley one, and yeah, couldn't even.
The average Bob.
Yeah, so the start of it was like to do wall sits for 60 seconds
That's not too bad.
into 20 into 20 lunges,
Oh,
and then wall sit again 60 seconds into 19 lunges, and
okay,
basically you're going down from 20 to 1,
gotcha.
doing wall sits after every one. And yeah,
Yeah. No, I could see
did
how
not make it far in that one.
it'd be hard to finish it.
Um, but yeah, so post match after Ray beat up Angel, Karen Cross and Scarlett were walking backstage, and Emma
Just
pops out on the screen. She confronts Scarlett and says something about you were making fun of Riddick Moss, and then she slaps the shit out of Scarlett, and then Karen Cross holds Scarlett back. He squints at Emma and he says, "You have no idea what you just done." So there's that.
so
Hopefully that doesn't
Emma's
lead to a
scheduled to
match.
lose to Scarlett at some point.
Uh, I hope not. I mean, I've never seen Scarlett wrestle, but and I don't know if she can or not, but I think that she should not be a wrestler. She should just be a ballet.
Oh, I agree. The one of my biggest thing, the Rusev package, is when they started making Lana wrestle. Like, why?
Yeah, they
Can't,
only did. Well, I think that was at the end of Rusev's day.
there was a reason why it was the end,
Yeah.
but
Uh,
I don't know.
but yeah,
I'm
so
not.
we're
I mean, I don't
going.
want to see Scarlett wrestle at all. I mean, I don't see any value in that. Because
Yeah,
what's gonna happen? Scarlett and Karrion Cross are gonna have a mixed tag team now.
I guess so.
It's
But
just
again, I preface it by saying I've never seen Scarlett wrestle, so
even if she wrestles great, just she's a manager. Let her fucking manage. Why can't people just be managers? Why do they got to do the double duty shit?
I don't know. It's very Vince McMahon-esque, I would say.
It's not looking good. But
But we finally move into our main event.
now, real quick, because what I'm gonna do is I skipped this match. I had no interest in seeing the Miracle on 34th fucking street fight. I don't want to see wrestlers use packages as weapons or Christmas trees as weapons. AEW did that earlier anyway. But I will say it was funny that Lacey Evans still had a package after her controversies this week.
Oh, well, yeah, that was funny.
But I am going to put the mic on mute and you close us out on SmackDown.
All right, so SmackDown, the main event, we had Strowman and Ricochet versus Imperium in the Miracle on 34th Street fight match. It was pretty sports entertainment heavy, for better or worse. I actually found it kind of entertaining. I'm not even gonna lie. You had some spots in this match. We're not gonna go like move for move. At some point, um, Giovanni Vinci he ran into a Christmas tree and it cut his like right above his eye, so he was bleeding during the match. Which you never see color on WWE, so that was interesting to see. And oh, also to note, there was no Gunther. He was nowhere to be found during this, so that's good for him. During the match, some of the crazy outlandishness of the match was Imperium. For some reason, they decide that they're going to open some of the presents that have been on stage all night. They open. one present, and it was a ballerina. Don't know who the lady was. Don't. I guess it doesn't really matter for the story. She just does a couple twirls and then leaves the stage. And then there was another present on stage, and you're thinking, oh, it's probably the other ballerina. So they open the presents, and it is the New Day, and the New Day are dressed as nutcrackers, and and them being dressed as nutcracker, you can imagine what happened. They they march out on stage wearing their NXT titles, and then they low blow Imperium, and that was that. And then there was the one final moment where Ricochet, he was pretty beat up during the match. He was knocked out. I don't remember what happened. Doesn't really matter. Braun Strowman, he gets a mistletoe. He picks Ricochet up, and I'm like, oh great, he's about to kiss Ricochet. But he didn't. He drags Ricochet over to the timekeeper's area where his real life girlfriend Samantha Irvin is. He holds the he holds the mistletoe over Ricochet's head. She kisses him. Ricochet then hulks up like Hulk
Oh
Hogan,
God.
and he like goes on fire for the rest of the match. And the match finishes by Ricochet doing a splash off of Braun Strowman's shoulders to pin Imperium. And that's how we go off the air.
See, I'm starting to think that as much as I like Imperium, I'm starting to think that the other two are almost a detriment to Gunther.
Well, I guess, they gotta have someone out there taking the loss.
Or they could just not have a loser associated with the best thing you got going on in your company right now.
The Ring General.
Yeah.
But I did note that he was nowhere near this match.
That was a good
Like,
thing. That was
could you
another reason
imagine
why I
him
skipped
getting
it. I'm like, Gunther's not here? Why would I watch this?
could you imagine him getting like cookies shoved in his
Oh,
face or
Jesus
something?
Christ. Well, he already ran away like a bitch from Braun
Oh yeah,
Strowman.
you're right.
But
But yeah, that's how we go off the air.
I'll say that SmackDown was a lot more compelling, but I also wasn't in a rage for most of SmackDown either. So
Rhea Ripley sent you over the edge.
yeah, I was done with Raw after that. It's
And I
bullshit.
actually liked Raw better.
Oh, there you go.
That because SmackDown was taped and yada yada yada.
I don't give a shit if it's taped. Who cares if it's taped?
Oh, I care. Because, well, not the fact that it's taped. I don't care if it's taped or not. I can just avoid the spoilers. The problem was, you can tell that they were like piping in the crowd noise.
Oh, I just assume they do that in general.
Oh, they've been doing it, but like there's a lot of moments you hear the crowd going crazy, and then you look out and there's like no one even moving.
Right.
But I mean, between the two, I'm almost thinking maybe they should. I don't know why they pump in crowd noise on SmackDown, but not on Raw. And Raw has like the quietest crowd you can have.
Right.
Like if we're gonna do it, do it on Raw too. Please do it on Raw.
Maybe it's because they can tape SmackDown but not Raw. I don't know.
Well, I think it's because I don't know. SmackDown's the A show, clearly,
Right. Yeah.
or SmackDown's their priority show, so they want to make it seem like you know that's everything is happening on SmackDown because it's also on network TV as opposed to cable because it's on Fox.
Right.
So more people see SmackDown, so they want to make it. put their best foot forward so they can't have a quiet crowd like on Raw. The Raw crowd sucks. There you go.
I think most of the crowds suck, aside from Chicago. That's probably one of the better crowds.
Chicago's good. San Antonio's good.
Yeah.
Um, Apparently the overseas crowd, like Canada,
Oh sure. Yeah.
wherever wherever they were for Clash at the Castle, that was a good crowd.
Yeah.
Royal Rumble crowd's good, but they're going to be in San Antonio.
Okay.
So there you go. The Raw after WrestleMania, they're usually a good crowd. I guess that has nothing to do with the location. Maybe they just get an exciting show, and that's what they're excited about. But yeah, there's your Raw, there's your SmackDown. Um, on Dynamite, we didn't really have anything of note. There's just good wrestling, but that's what you get. Um,
It seems like they're moving forward with the was it Antonio Andretti guy?
Action Andretti,
Yeah, whatever. He finally he had a promo.
yes, and he proved why he's not a star
Right.
and never will be.
Yeah. It was pretty. It kind of makes me question Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I mean, I could see what he was trying to do,
Oh, I know what he was trying to do.
but you could you could easily tell that this Action Andretti. First of all, the name Action Andretti
Right.
already maybe that's an easy fix though. You can just, but even
But
just
they
seeing
haven't.
him
They
wrestle,
haven't fixed it.
well, even just seeing him wrestle, you knew he wasn't going to be a star. Like I equated him to maybe at best he can be AEW's Ricochet.
Well, he just,
Like
from what I've
not a
seen, he just
star.
seems to be like the same insert wrestler here. He does the same, jump flips and the running shooting star press. That seems like a Ricochet thing, to your credit. But I mean, I don't know. He seems to do the same shit that everybody else does. Like there's nothing that stands out about him.
Yeah, he's just another flippy flop.
His
Bag your
promos about
groceries at Kroger.
his promos about as stale as a loaf of bread that's been sitting out for a week.
Yeah, and again, maybe he can work on that. Ricochet hasn't, so
Yeah, Ricochet is bad too.
and that's why neither one of them will never be a star.
Oh, real quick, going back a little bit, I do think it's hilarious that Braun Strowman has to team up with the Flippy Flopper.
Oh yeah, I did think that. It's like, oh man, you're talking shit. Now look at you.
Right.
You gotta
You,
gotta rely on
you,
him to do this match.
you're about to be in the Intercontinental title picture, but now you're with a Flippy Flopper, having 47-star matches.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I don't know, man. It almost feels like that Jericho just wanted attention.
Well, again, I could see what they were trying to do. They're trying to recreate, I guess, the 1, 2, 3 Kid versus Razor Ramon moment
Yeah,
where
but the
this
difference
nobody.
is the 1, 2, 3 kid had talent.
Well, you didn't know that when he started. It wasn't until he became X-Pac that he really showed that he had something. And
Well,
no,
no, he
don't
was
even, don't
he.
even, don't even. It wasn't until he was X-Pac.
Bullshit.
It
Bullshit.
wasn't. The 1, 2, 3 Kid was never going anywhere.
He had a great. Well, first of all, he had a great match with Razor Ramon. Not just that match, but he had another match with Razor Ramon. He had a good heel run. He was the heel, and Razor Ramon was the baby face. It was awesome. He was 6 in WCW, 6 Pac, which I thought was better, even though it was brief.
I still don't think he was anything until X-Pac.
Yeah, that's when you got X-Pac heat.
Until he was with D-Generation X doing his Suck It.
Nah.
And then...
And why do you have special theme music?
I don't know.
Everybody else had regular D-Generation X music, but hey, he gets the little X-Pac. You think you can just... Why did he get this little special D? Who the fuck is X-Pac to get special DX? If anybody was going to get special DX music, it should have been Shawn Michaels.
Right. I mean, he also had his Bronco Buster and
he had the Bronco.
That, so.
He had the Bronco Buster in WCW.
I know, but he got it over when he was X-Pac.
Okay.
Because he did the Suck It, and then anyway. Yeah, we didn't know when he first rolled up Razor Ramon. We didn't know what he was. Now hearing back the stories though, it sounded like he was already like in the clique ish. So, or maybe the clique hadn't started yet, but he was in the crowd.
Well, he was friends with like Mr. Perfect too, in AEW. They teamed together. So he was connected, at least friend wise. He was also really good. At least I thought so.
Yeah, he was good. He was just
that and the Razor Ramon vignettes were kind of nice.
He's just a small flippy flop guy. But then, yeah.
Anyway. Razor?
No, not Razor. Why would Razor be a flippy flop?
That's why I asked you. Are we talking about 1, 2, 3 Kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about Razor. When did we switch?
I thought that's who we were talking about this whole time.
I know, but then you got on the Razor somehow. When did we switch?
I don't know.
No.
You said something. Well, anyway, let's just move on. Fuck it.
Move on to our stories. And we got quite the stories.
Oh, you said he was part of the clique. You said he was already part of the clique or whatever. I thought you were talking about Razor.
Oh, no, it's not about...
Yeah. Okay. Now that we got that mystery cleared up, stories.
Now that we've cleared that up, let's talk about the stories. Oh, yeah. Action Andretti's the jobber. Anyway.
Yeah, I think Jericho just wanted a little bit of shine on him. I don't think there was any thought into who he was going to quote unquote put over. I just think he saw somebody that was competent in the ring and could do what he wanted them to do.
Well, he said that he scouted him months ago, so...
I think he's full of shit. But I guess we'll never know. I certainly don't.
The timeline does match up because he was on Dark. So anyway, that's enough. He's gotten enough attention. Action Andretti. So let's talk about some of these stories. Let's start off with a light story. We have ourselves an update to Mandy Rose. And it is apparently since
money.
Yeah, if you were worried about her life after WWE,
she's doing all right.
You don't have to worry anymore because apparently, according to her agent, whoever his name is, doesn't matter. She has made
Dave.
She has made $500,000 since her release.
That was like within like a week or two.
Oh yeah, it was a week. Well, the story had come out a week to the day, so that means he said it before a week
There
was
you go.
over. So w- let's just say like 5 or 6 days, she had made $500,000. He also said that by Christmas, which is today,
Today,
depending on when you're
right
listening,
now,
or maybe it's in the past, she would have been the a self-made millionaire.
which is pretty astonishing. Because one, Mandy, Mandy Rose is cute, but she's not like the greatest thing ever. Two, she just shows pictures of her ass. Like she doesn't show anything that like you can't find better or better quality stuff of, and for free. So it's quite an accomplishment. It's also kind of sick that there's so many so many wrestling fans that are that thirsty.
Well, obviously, what this is with all the news breaking that she got fired because she crossed the line, she went too far, yada yada yada. You probably have people that wanted to see, oh, let's see what this is about. So, they went and paid up for the month's subscription to see what all the
No, you don't have to subscribe to see what it's all about. You can see what it's all about
look,
without
you're
forking over 1 cent.
you're assuming these people know how to use the internet. I'm saying not everybody knows how to use the internet that good. Not everybody's a deviant, all right? Some people they don't know about all that, so then
That's the
they
first
don't
thing
know how
you
to
learn on the internet.
they don't know how to do the Google search,
They do for that. I promise you.
and or maybe they don't want the grainy pictures that you get when you're pirating it. They want the real deal.
Well, I don't know. I'll turn you on to some sites because my pictures are never grainy.
Some of them are grainy, and then some of them you gotta like, and then they try to make you sign up for an account, and you're like, no, I'm not signing up for an account.
But you'll pay for a subscription to see ass pictures.
No, not me. I'm saying some of those places you go.
Well, I never go to those places the time
You
of
got to
day.
make sure you have a pop-up blocker on. That's for what.
Well, of
That's for
course.
sure.
Yeah.
Let's teach people how to pirate. But yeah, there you go. So she's gonna be a millionaire, or I guess she's already now a millionaire.
Good for her.
Um,
It's just really interesting to me that it would be her as the diva or former WWE women's wrestler. Like you've had the
yeah,
Sunnies and the Sables is.
well, I'm sure they would have made bank.
I'm sure they did make bank, but I don't know. She just seems to be a little bit more thrifty.
Oh, also, what I wanted to say was this could also be her like trying to get this news out there so WWE can see that she's doing okay or something. So that like I don't know, kind of a bargaining chips like, oh, you want to come back, don't you? You gotta do this, and it's like, oh, I'm doing pretty good, so I don't really need to come back. You know what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say?
yeah. Well,
Call
they
her
might not
bluff.
be able to because I mean, on OnlyFans or whatever website she uses, she might be worth $500,000. But as far as wrestling, she might be only worth 100,000.
Well, that was why she didn't want to take it down because
Right?
they
Oh,
weren't going to be
sure.
able to pay her
No, she
what she
she'd
can
be
make.
stupid to. I can't hate on her for chasing the money. I think
Yeah,
she's certainly doing a better service being half naked than she is being in the ring.
so before she was making like 100,000, But now she's yeah. So since her release, then it upped to 500,000.
Yeah, and to be clear, I don't know that 100,000 I just pulled out of my ass.
Oh,
I
I
was
was
just
just filling you in because I got
okay.
a little bit more information off of it. A little bit more research was done.
Yeah,
So I gotta make sure I got all up to date information, you know.
I tell you, man, my Oscar research was probably one of my better researches.
Oscar.
Yeah, man, there are some weird, there's some weird motherfuckers out there. I tell you, they got like all these. I'm sure they have them for numerous women on the roster, but they got these sites where they have these Asian bodies, and it's Asuka's head. It's clearly fake and Photoshop and stuff. And some of them even say, "Oh, it's fake. We don't care."
Don't even have her skin tone matching.
Yeah, yeah. Like you could see, like it's a little shade darker or lighter, or like those those Magumbos are a little too big for what I see on Raw. She's got
Like it's
one
not even logical.
right. There's no way she fit just tucks those in those tiny little sports bras. But anyway, good for Mandy Rose. Hope she makes all the money she can.
And she's on her way. Now, it will be, I guess the final note is it'll be interesting seeing like month over month if she still can maintain that. Because again, I think it's just like because of the publicity, she's gotten
Mm.
more attention. And then and then after their month expires, and we'll see who renews and see if she's still making that much more.
It don't
Maybe
matter if she
she's
makes. I mean, if she's making 500,000 in less than a week, couldn't she retire in like 3? As long as she's not stupid.
yeah.
I mean, so she could just
I
say fuck
mean,
it.
yeah, really, realistically, she should never have to work again in her life. But
So I mean, it don't matter if it's a like eventually in 5 years she's gonna start sagging in places.
they got doctors for that.
Yeah,
But you know,
they ain't
you
that
got
great.
people like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and those likes. I never heard any of them say, you know what, I think I got enough money. I'm gonna just retire now. Like they always try to get more.
Well, that's because they're successful businessmen that have worked for that money. She's just showing her ass for thirsty people that are willing to pay for it. There's a big difference.
Is there?
I think so.
It doesn't matter how you get it. I'm saying if you get it, I've never heard someone getting it and then say, well, I think that's enough. I'm gonna stop there. No, they always go for more.
But if she can't go for more, I mean, you were saying that if her
Oh, she can go for more.
well, okay. Fair enough. But you were um oh, I lost it. Thanks.
Well, I guess we can take that into our next story.
All right.
Um, Matt's riddle.
Yeah.
So
Good old Matty boy.
I'm gonna let you fill in because this story was kind of all over the place. So I'm not sure I followed it
Well,
to its extent.
from what I so he had the suspension, right?
Right.
So then I guess there was like abuse allegations by some porn star. And then he's he has pictures of himself with said porn star, and then like I guess another porn star that he was dating blasted him, of course, on social media.
Right.
So it's just kind of funny because one, it's very public. Two, they're porn stars, and three,
Like they're surprised that he's cheating on them.
yeah,
So yeah, this this was a pretty crazy story. So from what I followed, you have Matt Riddle. He's dating one porn star,
mm-hmm.
and I guess he posted a picture on his Instagram kissing her,
Yeah. I mean,
and this then sent the back signal and made the another porn star who he was also dating upset because he was cheating with the first porn star and they were supposed to be spending Christmas together. Um, Really, what came out of all of this is she then confirmed that he was in rehab.
which I mean,
Like that's the big takeaway here.
is that the takeaway?
Yes, that is the takeaway. That he's in rehab.
I mean, I think I think the takeaway is him dipping his rod into two different ladies in the same industry. I think that's the
Yeah, he
takeaway
does
because we
seem
already
like
knew
a
he was
type.
in rehab. That's what the WWE stipulation was. He could either go to rehab or get fired. That's already been out. She wasn't confirming shit. All she confirmed
It
is
was
that
there, but she confirmed it. I don't know.
the only thing she confirmed is Riddle's a slut with weird taste.
But yeah, he does have his type, which was another shocker of the whole story. Like, golly,
Is
this
that a
guy.
shocker? He seems to like if there's
I
anybody on
mean,
the roster that I would see that would have that type, either that or the remember the prostitute from Breaking Bad?
yeah.
Yeah, or that type.
I guess the other note was um oh, I lost it. I forgot what I was gonna say.
All right.
But yeah, he's but again, the porn stars are surprised that someone isn't seriously dating them.
Right.
Like it's just a funny story, I guess. That part of it. Not the whole story.
No, no, it's all pretty funny. And isn't I think one of them was the one that he uh, just recently divorced from. Am I
No,
right on
that's
that?
another one.
So that's another porn star.
Yes, that's a different one. So now we're up to three porn
God
stars.
damn. He got Tito Ortiz beat. That's for sure.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. But it was funny that we have this porn star talking about he was supposed to come spend Christmas, like such a wholesome thing. Oh,
Right.
we're gonna spend Christmas together and open presents and like you're a porn star. What are you talking about?
You don't have Christmas.
Yeah,
You don't know what that is.
you don't know about Christmas.
You don't have family. You're created in a lab.
Yeah, what are we gonna do next? Go walking in a park holding hands?
We want to go see Christmas lights.
We gotta go to church. We're gonna go to our neighbors and go door to door and sing Christmas carols.
Oh, you want to go to your parents this year?
Golly.
Yeah.
See? And there was something to take out of that whole story.
Yep. All right. So moving on.
Um, yeah, moving on. So we have also on the news Lana and Rusev. They're both doing some talking this week.
And anytime Lana talks, I listen.
Well,
Well,
so the big
I
thing,
listen on mute, but I do listen.
yeah, so the big thing here was Lana pretty much said, um, I don't know where she was talking. She was, I guess she did, she did an interview with, I don't know.
There's some
It doesn't matter.
podcast.
Yeah, she was doing an interview. She pretty much said that Rusev, she thinks that Rusev Day will come back at some point, and she then went on to say that everybody goes back to WWE.
She did say that.
And this comes also on the back of some news that Rusev has been held off of TV because they were going to bring him back for Full Gear, their last pay-per-view, but he refused to come back because he didn't want to job. He basically didn't want to lose to whoever they had him planned to lose against.
Do we know who that was?
We don't know who that is yet,
Okay.
but they had the plans for him to come back and lose. He didn't want to,
He,
and
he said it don't work for me, brother.
yeah. So, and I agree. He shouldn't. He's wrestled like I don't know 4 or 5 matches this whole year.
Mm-hmm.
So he shouldn't be coming back to lose a feud.
Well, how has he been booked?
Um,
I mean, aside from non-existent, like the
yeah.
the times that you
Aside from
have
not being
seen
on
him,
TV,
yeah.
I think he's. I'm going off the top of my head. I think he's won. He's lost one of his 4 matches.
Okay.
So he won the trios match. Um, he won another. Yeah, he's only lost 1 match.
Okay.
So
So
him,
he's not a killer, but he's still one of the main guys, numbers wise at least.
right? And at this point, I think I don't know if you should. I'm kind of in between here. I don't know if they should just like let him go back to WWE if he wants to go back. I don't really care. I just want him to be on TV wherever he's at.
I think
Be
he'd
that
be great
WWE, be that AEW.
if he comes back to WWE. That's an instant um, Roman Reigns program.
Well, I guess it depends on how you bring him back.
Well, you'd have to bring him back as the Rusev, the Bulgarian
Yeah.
brute, the killer, the guy that just was undefeated until John Cena threw a wet blanket on him.
Well, yeah, but if you do that, then we have to remember what he's been through.
What do you mean?
Getting cucked by Bobby Lashley,
Well, you don't
and
necessarily have to bring that up.
Bobby Lashley of all people.
Did I mean do they bring up the fact that Brock broke Triple H's arm? I can't believe he still has a contract. He broke the man's arm.
No, they did bring it up though, not recently. Back when they were doing the authority angle and Brock Lesnar came back, they brought it up. Oh, he broke his arm for Christ's sakes.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean they just have to do a little bit of rebuilding if they want to bring him back,
I don't think they have to
which they
do a whole
could
lot of,
and they should.
especially if he, with the bald and the thick beard, kind of looks like Kratos.
Yeah,
Like, fuck yeah, man. He looks
but
bigger
yeah,
than
either
Sakoa
way,
Joe.
yeah, he does. It's definitely more muscular.
Yeah, I say do it.
But either way, he just needs to be on TV, and I don't see why it's a it's a surprise what Lana said
Right.
that the fact that everybody goes back to WWE, everybody does go back to WWE. You know, they didn't most some people left, but most of them didn't leave. They got fired. So of course, if they get an opportunity to right that ship, they're gonna take it
Well,
because it was what they wanted to do.
the only surprise in what Lana said is the timing of, the timing and the circumstances of everything, because Tony's not using him, and then when he is trying to use him, it sounds like Rusev is kind of a head case too. Um,
Well, apparently, a big thing in AEW is people are, at least for the WWE, the ex WWE guys, they're concerned about protecting their character, and they don't just want to come back and job to the AEW talent.
well, it also doesn't help that it doesn't make sense. Like with WWE, everything's kind of as fucked up as it is. Sometimes it's still like a linear story. AEW doesn't seem to have that right now. It just all seems to be jumbled together.
AEW is kind of just about
Stuff.
bangers.
Yeah.
This match, this guy's gonna wrestle this guy because it's gonna be a banger.
Unfortunately, they don't have the talent for that
Well,
because
that's
they don't
you
use
could
the
argue
talent.
that's a different argument for a different day. But to stay on to stay on the Rusev thing, um, he, yeah, he should. I'm just if he's gonna go back, he should go back. If he's gonna stay in AEW, just hopefully he gets put on TV.
Well, I
Um,
think I think it'd be stupid for Tony to just release him so he can go back to the
well, you're
WWE.
not using him.
But
This is
they're
what I
not
don't
using
get.
him.
If you're, I'm saying this is what I don't get. Why are you
Yeah,
just? It's very Vince McMahon to do anyway. It's like, why are you just holding him hostage, essentially?
it's not really holding him hostage. It's holding withholding a weapon that can be used against you.
I
Because
know,
clearly,
but you're not using him either.
no, of course not. And they know
You
that,
know, it's like
but they also know that WWE not only has used him better, will use him better. He'll get over, and the last thing they need is for WWE to have even a bigger lead on him. Because for some reason, Tony still thinks that they have a fighting man's chance in overtaking WWE.
well, with how WWE was going, they almost had a chance.
Almost.
You're pulling 1.4s. AEW at its peak was pulling 1.2, so that's not too far off.
But then he
Um,
chose the Super Friends over the legit wrestler.
but I guess yeah, you're holding him to his contract. Like you're under my contract, so you're not going anywhere. I guess that could be a. I'm just holding you to what you've already signed up to do.
And
But
then, well, what's to say? Like, what if Moxley gets a bug up his ass about going to WWE? Well, you let Rusev go.
yeah, but I don't think. Moxley's gonna want to go back. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Got it back. So it's almost like what I can equate it to. It's like you know the younger kids, or when we were kids, or anybody's kids, and you have the toys in your toy box, and then you have a friend over, and they see your toys, and it's like, oh, look at that toy. Can I have it? And then you tell them no because it's your toy, but you haven't played with that toy in like years. You you probably forgot you had it up until the point that he showed it to you. That's Tony Khan. Or you can even take that to like a video game. You got this video game, you don't play it anymore, and then your friend's like, "Oh, can I have this game, or can I borrow this game?" No, it's mine.
Well, if
I'm
we're going
using
with
it.
I would say it's more like you buy a video game and you don't even come close to even finishing it. Then you buy another one that you play for a little bit, and then you buy another one, and all of a sudden you have all these video games that you just play a little bit with, but you don't really do anything with.
Yeah, and then you got your library.
You got your library. That's it. So you say that, oh,
But then,
I got Doom, and I got Last of Us, I got this, and I got that, but you couldn't really say anything beyond that because you haven't played it, you haven't experienced them.
yeah, and then you got someone wanting to play it, and you're like, "No, it's mine.
Yeah,
I was gonna use it. I was gonna play it next week."
of
No,
course
you weren't.
I'm going to play The Last of Us 2 again.
Yeah, that's my favorite game. Well, what about this game? No, I like that one too. I'm gonna play that one too. Like you do, dude. You can't play them all at the same time.
Oh,
But that's
watch me.
kids are stingy.
They are. But
But
I
I
personally
guess
think Rusev should come back to the WWE.
I think he should just be used on TV wherever he's at.
Yeah.
But while we're on talking about AEW, I guess we can talk about our last story of the night. That being, my name is Enzo Amore, and I'm a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you
You
can't
can't
teach
teach
that.
that.
Enzo Amore, he was on Busted Open Radio, and he pretty much, I don't know, he ran down MJF, talking about how he's such a better promo than MJF, and he essentially calls him out I don't know, he wants to do an angle with MJF. I don't know if he wants to do an angle, or like I don't know if he's like positioning for that, but
Okay.
he basically said he would kill MJF on the mic.
Mm.
He he also said, here I got the direct quote here. He says, "You give me 5 minutes on a live microphone, I'm turning #1 worldwide. Um, not WWE, not AEW, not MJF. There's no three letters that can hold me. I don't give. I don't have to shit on people. I don't have to take cheap shots. I don't have to curse on the microphone in front of people. I don't have to. It's not what you say, it's how you say it." Um, he went on to talk about how he made soft, and he got that over.
Okay.
And yeah, he basically said that he doesn't have to take the low hanging fruit that seemingly MJF has to take, with the insult of people, insult the town, yada yada yada.
Okay. Well, he's also a heel.
He is a heel.
Yeah.
Enzo had a run his heel too.
And I didn't
You know
he
he
insult the people in the town, and I know he at least insulted the people.
well he insulted the wrestlers for sure.
Well, of course.
Um, I remember he was pretty much the one that put the final nail in the coffin for the Ascension. He was like, they were about to do a match, and he was like, I was gonna come out here and insult you, but honestly, you're the Ascension. That's the biggest insult I can give you. That was pretty much the end of them.
Mm.
um, I actually don't even think he's crazy. I think he's one of the better ones on the microphone for sure.
Well, has he ever trended #1 worldwide?
I don't know. I don't. I wasn't big into the trending thing. He
Okay.
probably did.
Number one?
Everybody in well, WWE trends #1, so I would say just by association with that, if he was given a promo, he was probably trending.
Okay.
They boast about everything trending #1, so
Okay.
I
The
would
only
def
thing that I, no, I don't. I mean, I don't think he's crazy, but WWE wrote stuff for him. It seems like
did they though?
I would think that they I would say that they told him more to say than what Tony Khan tells MJF what to say.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they wrote for him.
For
I
Enzo,
don't know. Yeah, I couldn't see WWE coming up with soft and
I could see
how you
them.
doing and cup of haters. What do we got over here? A cup of haters?
Well, remember they had Zeb Coulter coming out saying, "Oh, y'all are haters."
Well, I'm just saying the writing. If that was WWE, it seems a little too cool to be them coming up with it.
Well, you don't know what the writing is like. He could be making it his own,
Right.
but which is my point. He might be really good at that. And he might be
I
really
mean,
good at. He might really be good at coming up with a promo from start to finish, just from scratch. And he might just, he might be the Eminem of of wrestling. But I don't know. For outsider looking in, it seems like he had a bigger chance to succeed with WWE than MJF does with AEW. And hell,
yeah.
Look at Paige. Paige wasn't. I mean, she wasn't a great promo with WWE, but she was a hell of a lot better than what she was from what she's been demonstrating in AEW. She's a stuttering mess.
What are we talking about? How do we get here?
We're talking about promos.
Yeah, promo A versus promo B. What are we talking about? I don't need to
What I'm
compare.
saying is that the WWE is writing stuff or has given them a lot more structure or more direction into what to say. And then when they don't have that, they flounder. So what I'm saying is, just like with Paige, when she had her first non WWE promo, she was kind of shitty. Enzo might have that same problem. Like, have you heard him speak outside of WWE?
No.
Well, there you go. Has he trended or has he gone viral for some shit that he said outside of WWE? When's the last time you heard him say anything besides the soft shit?
Well,
Oh, and his
to
his,
his
his rap
defense,
music.
I think he's in like MLW or something right now, so no
Okay.
one's watching that anyways. So
Okay.
he ain't gonna be trending unless he killed someone, or you know,
Fair.
if he's trending, it ain't for a good reason. So yeah, the platform was there, but hey, I kind of find it what anyway. I find it hard to think that someone in WWE would come up with something that cool. Those geek writers coming up with soft or anything.
I could see him coming up with soft, and I could see someone making it a little bit more. hip, I guess. Because think about it,
Yeah,
soft
that's what I'm
written on
saying. What
paper.
geek?
That sounds corny as shit. Oh, you're gonna call them soft, but instead of soft, it's SAWFT.
See, that's what I'm saying.
How
There's not.
funny is that?
You're proving my point.
Well, no, because then
Like,
Enzo would be like,
no
"Oh, okay,
geek is
well,
gonna come
I'm
up with
gonna
that.
turn this into my own thing."
Well, I'm saying no geek is gonna come up with that.
They could.
Some geek writer is gonna come up. Oh, call him soft, but spell it SAWFT instead of SOFT. That's
Vince Russo used
like
to do the little hashtags and exclamation points when he was cursing. So yeah, writers would do geeky shit like that.
but these things worked. Like the writers, I don't know what I'm saying.
You're saying that the language is too hip for the writers,
Yes,
but I'm saying
that's
that
what
the
I'm saying.
performance is too hip for the performance is what makes it hip. If you put if you see SAWFT without any knowledge of Enzo Amore and Big Cass and all that shit, if you see SAWFT on the piece of paper, you're gonna say, "What the fuck is this? This is stupid."
No,
Well, that's what that was my impression.
or
What the fuck is this? It's
cup
dumb.
of hated. I'm. My name is Enzo Amore. I'm the trash talker Skywalker. Like, come on, you telling me a writer's come up with that hip stuff?
Maybe not that soft. I absolutely stuff that they would market and catchphrase. Absolutely, I could see WWE coming up with.
The gift of gab and the gift of jab.
You know, you're
But you know, now that I think about it, maybe he was just all catchphrases.
yeah.
So was he really a good promo?
I mean, I thought he was good on the mic, but again, I think he had a little bit more direction than maybe MJF does. I think MJF is the reason why he curses and he insults is because that's all he knows. It's not like Tony Khan says, "Okay, this is what we're gonna do." Tony Khan's not gonna give him any advice on how to promo. Tony Khan can't promo. He can't give him any wrestling tips.
Yeah. Oh, he did also call. Funny enough, speaking of MJF, he also called him RC Cola because he's cheap pop.
Called who RC Cola?
Enzo called MJF
Oh,
RC Cola because he's a cheap pop
okay.
because of the
Yeah, 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 I
insulting
get
the
it. I
fans,
get
yada
it.
yada yada.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, didn't MJF say he hoped all the veterans would die?
Probably.
Okay. I seem to remember. We might have to revisit that.
But I think that is a good stopping point.
I think so too.
Let us know in the comments who you think would win in a promo battle, MJF or Enzo Amore. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit the like button. And until next time, do you have anything else to say?
Nope. I learned my lesson.
All right, well, until next time, top guys out.